Welcome to the Toucan Talks podcast, where we bounce from topic to topic with our guests to give you an inside look at their life as a business owner. No question is off limits as we talk about what has led to the successes, the challenges, and more.
And this podcast is brought to you by Kickstart Studios. Kickstart Studios is Wilmington's newest video podcast studio. Equipped with multiple camera angles and an in-house producer, creating a high-quality video podcast has never been easier. Don't let the tech and gear learning curve hold you back from jumping into podcasting or created video content any longer. Our team takes care of it all for you so you can focus on the message you want to share. You simply show up, record, and receive the final product. No more wasting time setting it up and breaking down the gear, setting up lights, or doing sound checks on your own. Our in-house producer will have everything set up and ready to go for you. So check us out at Kickstart Studios.
All right, welcome to Toucan Talks, hosted by Kickstart Collective. Today's guest is Steve Warwick. He is one of the founders of Warwick and Matthews. So as you can guess, he is the Warwick in that equation. So they're a commercial real estate firm here in Wilmington. And as you may not have guessed, he is my dad. So we should have a fun episode today. Before we dive in, I'm going to explain how this works for any of our new listeners and our guest here. Basically, you, our guest, are going to drop a coin down the board. If it lands on a 1, we have a can of business questions. So they're very serious questions. If it lands on a 2, our toucan, those are our party questions, and they are random and funny and weird. So, before we dive into the game, if you'd like to give us a little background on you and your company, we can get going.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Of course.
As you said, our company's name is Warwick Matthews. We went into business 37 years ago. We went into business actually 1 or 2 years before I-40 was completed and opened to Wilmington. So literally that opened doors and avenues to commercial real estate. People that technically felt like they couldn't get here because there were no good road systems to the beach, all of a sudden had a direct access from Raleigh and anywhere west of that. So timing was good for our market to grow and people to have access to get here.
Sweet.
As far as personally, from Wilmington, was born and raised here, went off to school, and then returned back to Wilmington. Took a traveling sales job for 4 or 5 years and decided that
It wasn't fun?
I got tired of living out of a suitcase and traveling every day, and there's no place like the beach. So I traveled North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and after 4 or 5 years of that, decided I'd like to work in the same community that I lived in, and this was a good opportunity.
Well, there you go. All right. So let's dive in. See what happens.
Okay. So I don't get a blue coin. I have a pink coin.
We have a pink coin. Oh, okay. Starting off with a hard-hitting serious question. Okay, it's pretty serious. This actually isn't the question I thought it was going to be. This is a real question. The majority of our listeners are other small business owners in Wilmington. What is your general advice for small business owners when it comes to buying and or leasing commercial property? That is what you do for a living.
Well, good question. Suggestion would be first to take a look at the inventory that's out there and available. And obviously, depending on your needs, location may be your primary driving force. Price may be your driving force. If you're a startup, you're probably very budget conscious, and you may be looking for office or retail space that may not be your first choice, but it allows you to get started, get in business, and later on, hopefully, be successful and move up the ladder to your number 1 choices. So price and location and zoning are going to be the 3 things that we're going to look at first.
Nice.
So is that serious?
That was a real question. Yes.
That was a real question.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Eh. All right.
Another business question.
Business
We're all serious.
question. All right. Speaking of 37 years in Wilmington, how has the business environment and growth in Wilmington changed in more recent years? And then what impact do you think that has on small businesses here?
The last 37 years, Wilmington has definitely grown. It used to be a small community and probably was very fitting when you called it the good old boy network. Everybody, for the most part in the business community, knew each other, played ball together, went to school together. That's changed. As we've grown, I-40 has obviously been a factor. The movie industry was a factor. People from all over the world came in, like Wilmington, wanted to move their businesses here. So that has increased opportunity for the business owner, but also has increased competition within our business.
Yeah.
There are more commercial real estate brokers in town now probably than ever before. Internet has changed the business tremendously. When I first started, this is the way we dressed, in a suit. Only time we wear suits now is for a podcast, a funeral, or if you're going to court for some reason. Other than that, this day and time we don't wear suits.
Suited up. We normally wear yoga pants to our team meetings, so this is also podcast friendly attire. Has commercial real estate gotten that casual? Do you wear your gym clothes to meetings yet?
Has not gotten that casual. However, it's not uncommon in the summer to see, if you don't have a scheduled meeting, to see brokers wearing a collared golf shirt and shorts or jeans, because most of the meetings now actually don't occur in person like they used to.
Yeah.
You know that you're in social media, and person to person is not what it used to be.
For sure. Cool. All right. Let's keep going.
Okay. I'll try to keep it in the board.
Yeah. Mine, I think 2 or 3 times. Wow. 2 or 3 times when I was doing it, it flew off the board. So you're in good company. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is one of our standard questions that everybody has a chance to answer. It says, who has taught you the most in your career, or who has been most influential in your career? It's been a long one, so
Easy
you need
now.
a second to think. Go
It
ahead.
hasn't been that long. I don't know that there's a particular person. As far as there've been a number of folks that have tried to mentor as far as business practices, and I think more than the how-tos of technically doing it, it's the how-tos of dealing with people, dealing with clients, dealing with partners, dealing with business decisions. So I know the question wasn't really asking that. It's who influenced me within the business, and I would probably, if I had to pick an individual, would probably say my dad, simply because of his CPA and business background, and he's also from Wilmington, so he helped with the name, he helped with contacts, and I still contact him today over various financial decisions and stock recommendations, etc. So I would probably have to pick him as the individual that's influenced me the most.
Shout out to Bob.
Yeah.
That is my grandfather.
if it's good, he'll take credit. If it's not good, he will not acknowledge that he heard it.
He is good at babysitting and financial information. Cool. That's a great answer. Let's see if we're going to get any
It's
party
all
can
serious.
questions. I know. Who knew? Well, here we
Another
go.
business question.
All right. What advice would you give to someone about to start a business or early on in their business ownership journey? So this can be from real estate perspective or you as a business owner, whatever direction you want to go.
The same answer, regardless of which direction I'm coming from or going to, I think. It's a marathon, so it's not going to be a sprint. And I think that the decisions you make for the long term if you're planning on being in business or staying in business. As a business owner, you'll always get an opportunity to take advantage of somebody for a quick profit. And I think that's very short-sighted as well as unethical. If you make decisions for the long haul and for the benefit of the client, it will come back down the road and pay in spades. So you're just in it for the long haul. It's a marathon, again, not a sprint. So the other kind of piece of advice that somebody gave me that is helpful in my business is don't get too excited about the highs and don't get too depressed about the lows. Commission business, it's up and down. It's not always in our control whether it closes or doesn't close, or you get paid or don't get paid. So try to maintain a level temperament, and sometimes I'm good at it and sometimes I'm terrible at it. So
there you go.
But that's been good advice, to not get too high, don't get too low.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Let's keep rolling.
All right. See if we can get something besides the serious business question.
I know.
Put it on your side of the board.
See what happens.
All right. Strike one.
We need to.
Strike two.
Oh, you might beat my record of coins jumping off the board.
I'm going to go.
We'll need to fact check that one later.
Another number one.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of questions. Might run out. Let's see. Shake it up. Okay. This is good. What is something about your industry that has surprised you lately? And I wrote these questions, so I just complimented myself.
Well, good question.
Good question for you as our guest.
I guess the thing that surprised me the most is through COVID and through interest rates doubling in the last year, that the business market here in Wilmington has remained strong.
Sweet.
The changes that everybody dealt with and endured through COVID was an adjustment, a big unknown, and Wilmington came through it very well, and we've continued to grow, and that's been a pleasant surprise. The interest rates have gone up, but demand continues here, and so it's a good market for business.
I assume there was probably less office space need 2020, 2021. Do you feel like people are getting back into like wanting offices and people in an office? Do they care about their office space?
I would say the demand has definitely picked back up. There's a very limited supply of, frankly, office, retail, and industrial.
Plenty of apartments. I'm just kidding.
There continues to be apartment complex after apartment complex being constructed. I remember about 5 years ago, the bankers telling us we'll be making no more apartment multifamily loans because the market's saturated.
Yeah.
And it's
People
not
keep coming.
It's not slowed down,
Yeah.
and I don't know who's moving into them, but somebody is.
Yeah.
So means we're continuing to grow, and we need business services for that new population.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We'll empty out this board and see if we get any other business questions. Josh, is this a record so far? Has someone gotten? Yeah.
We had a record on the two where everybody did funny only, and now this is the record on the ones where we only got ones.
Okay. There we go.
Well,
Let's see. Woo! Party can.
I was told not to be too serious, and now
I know.
they're all serious questions. So here we go.
Okay. We're chatting about this a little bit before we started. So we have a business owners read mean reviews card in this can. It's similar to celebrities read mean tweets. But in my homework, I could not find any bad online reviews.
Good.
And I tried, which is a good thing. That's what every business owner wants. So instead, would you like to explain how you have avoided getting bad online reviews?
Well, it's very possible that.
Your clients don't know how to use the internet? I'm just kidding.
Well, I was going to say maybe our website builder and our media person, being you and Kickstart
Yes, we did do that.
have done a good job, and so
we delete them before. No, I'm just kidding.
people have a positive impression, and maybe the ones who would give us a bad review, if they're out there, are the ones who don't know how to use the internet.
Maybe so.
They don't need to be in business anyway.
There you go. All right. So nothing about their customer service or how well they are with their clients. It's due to my great website building skills.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
Done.
All right. Another
All right.
business question.
Let's see.
It's about 10% comic and 90% business.
Serious. I guess you kind of answered this in the intro, but how did you get into your current line of work? 37 years ago.
After college, I took a travel and sales job and traveled across the 3-state area and lived in Wilmington because that's where I wanted to live, and they didn't care where I lived as long as I serviced the area. But just got tired of living out of a suitcase, and real estate was a good opportunity to work in Wilmington and in an area that I knew and that I liked, and to be able to stay on the coast and come home every night, which I liked a whole lot better than being in a different city in an unknown restaurant and trying to figure out the menu.
There you go.
So it was a good move.
Sweet. All right. Let's go again. We're cruising through these questions, so see how long it takes. Dun,
Another one.
dun.
Well, if we're going too fast, I'll talk slower.
Talk slower. Talk about whatever you want to talk about in between the questions. Are you more productive in the morning or in the afternoon?
Fair question. I've got
Probably all the time.
Unproductive all the time.
Or are you productive all the time? Or unproductive?
I could say yes, I'm productive all the time, but that would not be true. Probably more productive on Monday mornings and Friday mornings.
Okay.
Because I've had the weekend to plan for kicking off Monday. Kickstart, you relate to that.
Yeah. Kick it off.
And then Friday mornings, I'm more productive because I like to slide out on Friday afternoon if possible.
There you go. Do you contribute your productivity to your list making skills? Speaking of which, I think we have an example.
Oh boy. That's a disadvantage of being interviewed by somebody who knows you.
Someone who has a key to your home. Let's see.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I think that.
Let me zoom in because you have big information on a paper underneath there. All right.
Great.
I don't know what camera we're at.
You can probably start right there.
Okay. So would you like to explain your list making skills? They're actually very impressive. I feel like we could all take a lesson on this, but.
It just shows I'm old school because my list making is still done on legal pad with ink and a pen.
There you go.
Versus the to-do list in your phone or your computer. But 100% would, in all seriousness, say that does help because honestly, on a legal pad, there's 36 lines.
Oh, okay.
So 36 different things I'm doing that day. And
that's a lot for one day.
With my job, I'm working on a lease with that client, working on a purchase with the other client. We're doing an appraisal for this client. We're doing a walkthrough before closing with that one. I've got to make sure that the attorney has the closing documents. I can't keep up with all that without my to-do list. So at the end of the day, I can check off what I did, and what I haven't completed rolls to the next day.
Do you ever add things that you have already completed to your to-do list just for the satisfaction of checking it off the list? Because Alyssa and I both do that.
If you look at my to-do list on the days where I don't have as many lines filled in, you'll see at the end, got the mail, took the trash cans to the road, fed the dogs. So
Perfect.
Yes, that's
gotta check.
that is something that I probably should talk to somebody about because that's.
It's actually it was going around on an Instagram meme. Are you familiar with Instagram and memes?
Yes. When I have my pet dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. About how people add things to their list after they've already done them just so they can check them off.
Just to complete the sheet.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just so you feel better about yourself.
I got 1 or 2, 3, 4 more things done, and I'm making a note.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, Alyssa will be hosting one of these soon for you listeners. She is our digital account manager. I don't know. Graphic designer.
And does a very good job. She helps us with a lot of our information and marketing packages.
Yeah.
And does an excellent job.
She does. All right. I don't even remember what the question was. Oh, productive in the morning. Yes.
Another business question.
We only have 3 more. And we'll just have to default to the fun ones. All right. What do you think the business environment of Wilmington will look like in 10 years?
I think the business environment that we call Wilmington now will be Wilmington, Scottshill, Hampstead, Jacksonville. There'll be no difference between Myrtle Beach and Jacksonville to New Bern. Wilmington literally is 90 some odd % already developed for all developable property. So
That's a fun fact.
we have nothing.
We are running
I won't say
out
nothing.
of trees.
We are running out of land to develop.
Yeah.
What's not developed either doesn't have sewer currently or is wetland. So that's going to force our market. We already say we service a 5-county market for banking, medical, et cetera. So I think the Wilmington market will include, probably 5 counties.
Is it going to feel like Atlanta, where you live in Atlanta, but you actually don't live in Atlanta? You live in like
Buckhead or somewhere else. Very well could be, yes.
Interesting. Maybe we'll get, I guess our music scene is getting better. Maybe that'll help. We'll get more like Atlanta.
Get some music, some professional sports, and an expansion of Jungle Rapids.
Yeah.
We don't have Six Flags over Wilmington. No.
We did hit up Jungle Rapids this morning. Well, no, we did not. Me and the kids hit up Jungle Rapids. It was a great time. Josh, were we in our team meeting talking about football at UNCW ever happening, or was that a different conversation that I had with a different group of people in my life? Yeah. Just speaking of sports in Wilmington.
No, I mean, I think that's a very, very good point. UNCW football is undefeated. Not a whole lot of colleges can say that.
Does the Seahawks have a thing?
They have
I went there. I'm a very proud alumni. I did not have a lot of
They have a
school spirit.
club football team, but they don't have an official school. That's why they're undefeated.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yes. It is. Most of our listeners, I believe, are in Wilmington, so I think they will pick up on that. All right. Let's see. So
we're going to see if we can get a party question.
Party question.
Last time I put it here, it fell out twice. Let's see if I have better luck.
Nope. Maybe it's our board.
Strike 3. Somewhere we got a line.
Yeah, we have a seam. Nope.
I was going to roll it over to the other, but I can't even get it out. There we go.
There we go. All right, let's see what happens.
Number 2.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. What is your favorite Wilmington go-to place for, well, it can be for whatever, but let's say for food.
For food.
Or for fun. It says food or fun. It actually literally says or whatever. So your favorite Wilmington go-to spot.
Probably Masonboro Island.
There you go.
It's my favorite go-to spot with the boat.
You can take your own food.
I can take my own food. I can take my dogs if I go to the island across from Masonboro.
Can they not go on the main one? Or do your dogs just like to swim away?
They had a big discussion on whether dogs were allowed or not. So I'm not sure. So just to stay in the safe zone, I'm on the other side if anybody's checking.
There you go.
Whether I am or not. But yeah, the kids, grandkids, dogs, Masonboro is a good spot. And as far as restaurants, I've got a number of favorite restaurants. So it just depends on do I want American? Do I want Italian? whatever. So it's we're fortunate we have a lot of restaurants in Wilmington
We do.
for the size city we are.
Yes. I feel like our food scene has improved. Okay, well, I feel like we have time. We can go through one more round or half round before we wrap it. See if we get, well, if we run out of business questions, then we'll wrap it, but we'll see what happens.
We drop the fun ones into the business can.
Yeah. Let me see what these are. See if they're good ones that are left. Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Well, since you wrote them, I expect you're going to think they're good questions. Well, we'll find out.
See if this is the better of the two. Okay. Well, I feel like you answered this one a little bit before too, but what is the best business advice you've received? We touched on that earlier, but
Yeah, kind of to say the same thing or reiterate. Let me try that again. Reiterate that business is a marathon and not a sprint, and plan for the long haul. And Jimmy V, the coach, who said never give up, because there are days, weeks, and months that you want to give up, and so it takes perseverance. I think mentally setting yourself up for success and expect to be tumbled and pushed, and you just have to keep getting back up. And
when do you think a business owner should give up?
when should a business give up?
I'm just kidding.
Whenever you're out of money and there's nowhere else to go to keep it going, then
find a different route.
yeah. And I think, I mean, in all honesty, that's too going to say, well, you know, some things happen in life for a reason, and if it's not successful and you've done everything and you feel like you gave it your best shot, then maybe that's not what you're called to do.
Yeah.
Look and see if you've got a calling for something else, or try a different field, regroup, stock the bank account and try again later in a different market.
Just don't be a quitter unless you need to give up.
Yeah, never really got endorsements for being a quitter. We'll call it changing directions versus quitting.
Change directions if you need to. Don't quit. All right. Well, we only got one more business question, so we'll see what happens.
And you know me for your whole life, and
It's true.
I'm very stubborn, so
Yeah, so you'll never give up,
I
which is a good thing.
I might give up, but I'm not going to call it a quitting.
There you go. All right, last question. We've officially emptied the business question can. Okay, this last one's ties right in perfectly. What has been your biggest challenge in business? Please note, this will be on the internet. I'm just kidding.
What's been my biggest challenge?
Yeah, throughout your 37 years of business.
Well, since you said it's on the internet, I'll answer the question of
internet?
what. Yes. Okay. That's funny because that is my answer. Since it's going out, then yes, I will say what is the biggest challenge and not who's been the biggest challenge.
Yeah, it does say what has. Yeah.
I would say the changing in technology, the mass media has, when I first started in the business, we were all excited when, and you guys will laugh at this, but when we bought our first fax machine.
Ooh.
Because instead of taking a closing statement to the buyer to be signed, the seller to be signed, then down to the attorney's office, we could send it all out to everybody at one time. And we're like,
Technology.
we're going to save so much time. We're going to dominate the market. Well, everybody else got a fax machine too. So the playing field leveled out. And then along comes the computer. And then along with all the other technology, as y'all know, the phone now is more powerful than the computers we started with. So it's been a really great thing for the industry, for marketing, for making our little market a worldwide market. But it has been challenging to keep up with the technology. In my firm, I'm continually asking the younger guys, can you come help me clear up this virus, or can you help me get this web page to pull back up or whatever? So,
Okay, I'm only 32. We can fact check that as well. Yes, I'm 32. And I ask Alyssa things on the social medias. I'm like, what is this TikTok? I'm just kidding. I don't ask her that. But when it comes to things like that, I'm like, I'm getting too old for this. You young people take care of it. There you go.
It changes faster than I do. So,
amen.
So we're going to try to get a play question.
Well, we're out of business questions, so I'll just have to start making them up.
Last time I put it here, it came out of the board. Aha. Now that's
right,
never happened to me before.
We'll just call it a bogey. Is that the right term? I don't do golf. Is that golf? Okay.
Say it's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. What is your spiciest opinion that most people disagree with? We could also switch out the word controversial. This was my moon landing one that we had to fact check and went on a tangent about for people who watched our first episode.
I probably have a couple, and so I'm not trying to lose business. So
that's a good call.
I'm very much a conservative, financial conservative kind of a person. Like to use well planned out business models. The other that would be controversial, I'm left-handed.
Oh.
And so they say left-handed people are more creative and this and that and the other. So that's half the country or more that are right-handed will disagree with that. So
it's true.
I'll go with that.
All right. Those are good, solid answers.
Hey, another number 2.
All right. What is your favorite thing that comes out of a can?
The favorite thing that comes out of a can would be sun drop.
Wow. That is not good for your health.
Diet sun drop. That may be even worse for my health.
Worse.
I don't drink it a whole lot, but that's my favorite thing that comes out of a can.
That's fair. All right. We'll pull one more and then we'll get to our closing questions. Let's see. I'll find a good one. We don't normally pick. Oh, that would have been a good one.
I gave a lot of short answers, so there's not a whole lot to pick from, right?
Okay. Let's see. These 3 were your custom fun questions, so you can pick 1, 2, or 3. Make it a game.
Let's just take the one in the middle.
All right. You've been in business for longer than most of our other scheduled guests have been alive.
Including my host.
Including me. What do you believe is the secret to longevity in business?
Necessity.
Yeah.
I had to be successful. I had a wife and 2 kids and dogs and mortgages and
yeah.
Financial need is a motivator. And all kidding aside, when I'm looking to hire a new broker, I want somebody who has responsibilities and financial obligations because they're the ones that are motivated to make money. Yep. They're the ones that are going to stick with it because they have to. Kids have to eat. Kids have to have shoes. You got to have gas for the car. And we all like to eat. So
we do like to eat and we do like shoes. Man, that really tees us up great for our last 2 questions that we weren't going to do.
Well, guess what? We're going to do them.
Oh, we're going to do them, guys. Okay. So speaking of employees, we have a great team at Kickstart Collective, I believe. Why do you keep wanting to hire my employees? Got lots of questions about Alyssa at one point.
Because you have good employees, and we want all the good employees we can get.
I'm just kidding. You are welcome. Well, you can't have Alyssa. You can have Luke. Love you. And then lastly, who is your favorite child?
Who's my favorite child? There's no debate. Gunner.
I'm going to say Gunner. Yep,
Gunner.
I knew it. I called it.
Gunner's
the dog.
Gunner will get up on a cold morning, swim in ice water to retrieve ducks for me. You don't like to get up in the morning and get in cold water.
I don't.
Rob.
He might wake up.
He'll get up and go hunt, but he doesn't want to swim in the cold water. So
nope.
Gunner never complains. This is should I tell the joke that your mom hates about the dog? Put your dog or your family member in the trunk, close them up for an hour, come back. Who's glad to see you? Your dog.
The dog.
The family members are not.
No.
So.
Gunner.
I
called it.
I'm fortunate both you and Rob live here in Wilmington, so I need to not answer that question because you're both way too close to me to hurt me. So I'm going to just stay neutral.
All right.
You're my favorite second child without a doubt, and you're my favorite daughter without a doubt.
That's true. That's true. All right. I think we did pretty good. We got through a lot of questions, and I think we're about there on time. So, our closing questions, we pretty much ask everybody the same thing. What can people expect from you next?
Well, as you know, the Olympics are coming up in France in the summer.
Well, Olympics.
Yep, look for me in the decathlon. I'll be participating for the USA team.
Okay. Didn't know. We'll have to have you back on after that.
Nobody knew that.
I was unaware you've been training for that.
Yeah, you can look at me and tell.
Yeah. Okay. What is one final thought that you would want to leave our listeners with? This can be related to you, your business, what these young podcast watchers, business owners need to know.
I would say the thing I would leave you with, and myself as well, is if you're in Wilmington or in this area, we got a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for. We do have a good market. We've got a good environment to live in and enjoy, and you could be in a whole lot lesser and worse places as far as economics go, as far as geography goes. So I would just say, hey, if you're here, be thankful you're here and make the most of it. Yeah. And there's a lot of knowledge in this market. There's a lot of intelligent people. There's a lot of diverse people. We've got UNCW, so you've got a lot of people here that you can go to for advice and for help. And so we're very fortunate to have such a blend of quality citizens in our area.
Sweet. And then what is the best way people can get in touch with you if they need some real estate help, they want to have you on their podcast, all the above?
Well, you can call me at the office under Mosswork Matthews, or you can get in touch with us through the website that Laura has prepared for us, her company with Kickstart. So we're available most any telephone call, any website. Love to help you. We try to put the client first and serve and meet your needs, and that's why I think we've been around for 37 years and hope we'll be around for a lot longer.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that wraps it. So thanks for coming in today, and I'm going to say enduring isn't probably the right word, but enduring our lovely game of coin drop, and sharing your knowledge.
Well, thanks for having me, and I don't know how much knowledge was shared, but thanks for letting me voice an opinion and some thoughts, and look forward to doing it again.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.